The aim of this discussion is to see how migration can act as a driver for development.
Today we have data available on how migration and mobility can have a profound impact in both positive and negative terms on the progress towards sustainable economic and social development, and evidence on how migration is significantly contributing to the progress towards several Millennium Development Goals, from reducing poverty to improving gender equality and preventing infectious diseases.
Migrants have simultaneously two roles. In the countries of destination, they fill skill and labor structural gaps that local population don't want to take or don't have the skills to take, and as a result of that, they improve the development from one side. On the other side, and at the same time that they are doing this, they are also sending, particularly through remittances, but also in a broader way, a lot of support to the countries of origin where they are coming from and where their families are, and they contribute significantly in fulfilling some basic needs that not necessarily are fulfilled in those countries of origin. And I'm talking about food, I'm talking about health, education, housing, etc.
It is over 40 years since the economist J.K. Galbraith made the case of migration as the oldest and amongst the surest routes out of poverty. It is a period during which we have seen two United Nations high-level dialogues on migration and development. We have seen this year Turkey hosting the 8th Global Forum on Migration and Development. It is not a question anymore. It's not only fact, it is policy.
So migration is probably the most potent force for poverty reduction.
To what extent have migration and mobility contributed to the realization of the Millennium Development Goals? Instead of replying to that question, I prefer to zero in what is now being called the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG, the world's post-2015 development agenda, which will be approved by the UN General Assembly in September this year. Again, the DG mentioned this, but sharing with you the good news that SDGs contain migration-related provisions that were completely ignored or absent in the MDGs. I therefore propose that development cooperation and assistance, even now, be designed and directed towards the implementation of these migration-related goals. Let me name some of those. Goal 8.8, protect labor rights and promote safe and secure working environments of all workers, including migrant workers, particularly women migrants. Goal 10.7, facilitate orderly, safe, regular, and responsible migration and mobility of people, including through implementation of planned and well-managed migration policy. Goal 10C, by 2013, reduce to less than 3% the transaction cost of migrants' remittances. And finally, Goal 17.18, by 2020, enhance capacity building support to developing countries to increase significantly the availability of high-quality, timely, and reliable data disaggregated by income, gender, age, race, ethnicity, migratory status, and other characteristics relevant in national context.